Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is warning that prices of goods will increase significantly if government reverses the reduction of values of selected items. According to the association, the benchmark value was the only straw businesses were holding on to. The warning follows a statement issued by the Ghana Revenue Authority, which announced that effective today, January 4, benchmark values will be reversed for some 43 selected items. The reversal will affect the selected items from all the three categories on which it was applied. First Vice Chairman of GUTA, Clement Boateng, in an interview with Israel Lai on the AM show, warned the implementation is not a good move.
We are not against the industrialization agenda of the government, but what we are telling the government to do is to hasten slowly. Currently, we all know that our industries don't have the capacity, to meet the demands of the Ghanaians. And so, therefore, we want the government to hasten slowly. At least, we should all come to, a round table discussion and then look at the areas that they can be able, to meet the local demand. We can maybe take about 1, 2, 3 items. Then we pilot on that. You see, but to bandit about 42 items and say that you are reversing the policy is very inimical, to business. That is the point that we are making. We are not against, the industrialization agenda of the government, because we know that at least we must start from somewhere and then progress gradually until we are self-sufficient. But we could all bear reverse that currently the situation that we are, our local manufacturers cannot meet the country's demand. And so therefore, if you say you are banded about 42 items and then reversing the policy, my brother, it is inimical to business. And let me tell you, government currently, we are having a double-digit inflation. Is it not it? And government's aim is to try as much as possible to achieve a single digit. Now, with the reversal of this policy, I can tell you it is going to be difficult for government to achieve its single-digit inflation because prices are going to rise. Prices are going to rise. You bear with me that this Christmas, people were saying that prices are too high, and therefore traders were complaining that their goods, were not being, patronized. It were not being patronized because, one, currently the situation that we find ourselves is very difficult. Prices of freight have gone up astronomically. World commodity prices have gone up. Our CD also, is not performing, as it used to be. So, coupled with all these facts, make prices, higher. And with the reversal of this policy, prices are going, to be maybe 2 or 3-fold.
Well, economist at the University of Ghana, Professor Lord Mensah, has been explaining reasons which might be accounting for the implementation of the policy at this particular time of the year.
The government had an objective for introducing these subsidies, or let me call it a cut in tariffs. And these objectives, one of them is to probably increase more imports. And then secondly, the imports must be targeted towards maybe goods that are coming to serve as probably an input to the economic activities of this country. And then also, you look at the local manufacturer side. I mean, you realize that anytime, you reduce tariffs, it encourages more import. And if you encourage more import, what is going to happen is that price, the tendency of, coming down. And when price comes down, the local manufacturers probably may not be able to afford to produce at that lower price, and therefore knocking them off business. And that is why you see that conflict between the two parties that you mentioned earlier. And so this is, bound to happen in every environment where, you allow imports to come and compete with local manufacturing, product. Now let's look at how the government made the U-turn. And I will always say that, you know, some of the policies that are being rolled out by government are normally politically motivated than economic.
Okay.
Because, you know,
explain.
In 2019, you know, at the time that this policy was being introduced, government, you know, desperation for revenue generation was there. It was clearly on the grounds that, okay, fine, we had borrowed up to a point where we need money. So I did not support this idea of, you know, discounting import.
Yeah.
Exactly. I did not support, not that necessarily the reversal, but then, you know, reducing the import as of that time in 2019.
Yeah.
I wasn't in favor of it because, you know, when you whet the appetite of the importer after a certain time and you want to remove it, it becomes a problem because it gives that kind of laxity into the local system to which, you know, the effort that we need to move towards production would tend to be reducing. So at a point in time where you have some way, somehow, you know, production capacity and you want to reduce it, people's appetite have already been developed in importation. And as a result of that, you start getting this conflict.